Hello everyone. So today's our topic is like the Mulesoft integration with RabbitMQ. Let's begin the session. So today's our agenda is what is RabbitMQ, how to integrate RabbitMQ with Mulesoft, queuing operations using AMQP connector, and our favorite POC. So what is RabbitMQ? A message broker acts as a middleman for various services, like for example, a web application, as in this example. So they can be used to reduce loads and delivery times of web application services by delegating tasks that would normally take up a lot of time or resources to a third party that has no other job. So, and in simple terms, RabbitMQ is a message broker. It accepts and forward messages. You can think about it as a post office. When you put the mail that you want posting in a post box, you can be sure that the letter carrier will eventually deliver the mail to your recipient. In this analogy, RabbitMQ is a post box, a post office, and a letter carrier. So here the RabbitMQ is like other messaging services. This RabbitMQ is also a message broker. It carries it mainly acts as a communication channel. So installation. So how to install this RabbitMQ? Here we have to follow two steps. One is RabbitMQ. It requires a 64-bit supported version of Erlang. So if you click on this link, it will direct you to that particular Erlang programming language site. So there you can simply download this Erlang. And second step, rabbitmq.com download.html. So if you go to this site, there you can find the get started option, or from there you can download and install this RabbitMQ. Otherwise, if you click on this link directly, this UI will be downloaded. Once these two are downloaded and installed in your system, then you can able to see. So this is the page of erlang.org. Here you can see this downloads window installer. Here you can click download 64-bit installer, and then it is installed. After successfully installing this RabbitMQ service and Erlang, you can able to see this RabbitMQ command prompt from your start menu. Just click on this RabbitMQ command prompt, and it will open your command prompt. So here I am providing a basic command line. After this, once you open this RabbitMQ, it will open till spin. After this spin, you have to enter this RabbitMQ plugins, enable RabbitMQ management, and click on enter. Once you click on enter, it will be, these plugins will be installed in your local machine. And then next, go to your browser and type localhost colon 15672. So it will open this RabbitMQ page. After successful login, you are ready to play with RabbitMQ. So here the username is guest and password is also guest. Just click on this login and you will enter in, you will see the RabbitMQ first page. So that is the installation. And next, how to integrate RabbitMQ with the Mulesoft. So RabbitMQ uses a protocol called AMQP by default. So in order to use RabbitMQ, you have a protocol like AMQP. AMQP is generally not present in a Mule palette. So you have to search it in this search exchange. You can simply click on this AMQP connector name, and then you can add that AMQP connector into your Mule palette. So AMQP connectors, operations, and basic term. So basic terminology of this AMQP connectors. First, publish, used to publish message to queue. So these all are the connectors which are performed by AMQP connector. Acknowledgement, consume, listener, publish, consume, and reject. So here publish, used to publish message to queue. Exchange, topic exchanges, route messages to queues based on wildcard matches between the routing key and the routing pattern. So queues. So queues are used in asynchronous transfer of data, and the operations are performed in first in and first out order, FIFO orders. Consumer. RabbitMQ consumer reads AMQP messages from a single RabbitMQ queue. And prefetch count. Prefetch simply controls how many messages the broker allows to be outstanded at the consumer at a time. So these are the different operations performed by these AMQP connectors. Mostly we use for, in this tutorial I am going to explain this publish, listener and consume connectors. Next, general use case. In which scenarios we can use this AMQP connector and this RabbitMQ connector. Suppose user is there. From front end, user is placing an order. It should reaches the target and the order should be placed. And if for suppose this order stored target system is down, from the user placing order will not reach if the order stored target system is down. In this case, order is not placed and it leads to loss to the owner. And so in those scenarios, if we are from the message from user, here the message is nothing but an order. If the order is directed to an MQ, messaging queue, or stored in a messaging queue, the order reaches targets. So even though the target is down, the message, it will store in MQ only. Once it reaches the target, then only this message will be deleted. Until the message will wait in this queue only. So in those case, order waits in MQ until target is up. So there is no loss. In these scenarios, we can use RabbitMQ. How it works. So first of all, listener will be there, allows to listen for upcoming messages. And then publish, allows the user to publish a message in the exchange queue. And then consume, allows the user to consume a message from the particular exchange queue. So like this way it will work. So here listener is nothing but front end. The message will reach out here, and whatever the queue it will publish in this queue, and the message will be consumed from this consume connector. So this is the general configuration, connector configuration. Here the host is local host and the port is 15672, or you can use 5672. Most of the time this 15672 will fail. In those cases you can use 5672 port number. And username here, that is guest, and password is guest. Here I have given a queue name for this configuration, that is second queue. You can check this test connection by clicking on this test connection button. So listener connector configuration, once the connector configuration is added in global elements, you can simply select that AMQP configuration and select the queue name. Here in this case I have selected queue name. In the upcoming video I will show you how to create queues and all in the RabbitMQ. So add the connector configuration and give the queue name from which you want to listen the message. Here I have given the queue name is second queue. And then publish connector configuration. So here you have to choose exchange name. So I'll show you what is exchange and how to bind the queues with this exchange. Here add the connector configuration and give the exchange name from which you want to publish the message. Need to bind the exchange with queue. So here I have selected in my RabbitMQ I have configured this first queue that is binded with this exchange, first exchange exchanger. And then consume connector configuration. Here add the connector configuration and give the queue name from which you want to consume the message. So here I have given the queue name as first queue, and I have added this AMQP configuration. So let's begin the POC. So here I'm going to demonstrate this RabbitMQ in two different projects. One is demo project and another one is RabbitMQ project. So in this RabbitMQ project, I have configured a listener. It will listen the message from the queue, and it will publish that message in publish queue. So this I can demonstrate this one through admin UI, RabbitMQ admin UI. And in this demo project, I have taken two listeners. One is to publish this message, publish a message from Postman to this publish connector, AMQP connector, and then this listener, it will consume whatever the message that is available in this consume, that message will consume from this consumer. It is also demonstrated to Postman. So this is the RabbitMQ UI admin page. So here you can see overview, connections, channels, exchanges, queues and names. So here I have configured two queues. One is first queue and another one is second queue. And here you can see there are no messages in these two queues, first queue and second queue. So if you want to add a new queue, you can simply click on add a new queue, and all these values are default values, and you have to give the name. Let's suppose for I'm giving here third queue. Third queue. Simply click on this add queue. It will be added in this queue list. Like the same way, you need to add an exchange. So to publish a message, it will not directly publish into queue. Through exchange only it will publish into the queue. So here I have already created a queue. All these are default queue names, and I have created a queue name, an exchange name, first exchange. You can click on this add a new exchange, and you can give a name like the second exchange. Like that you can add as number of exchange you can add into your list. See, here second exchange is added. And now you need to bind your exchange with queue. Simply click on this first exchange and go down. Here you can see an option like bindings. Here I have already binded a queue name first queue. If you want to add, you can add the queue like this, which are available in your line. So here routing key, how many times you want to route, those number you can select here. Default I am selecting 1, and you can simply click on this bind. So this third queue is binded with this first exchange. So for my first exchange, first queue is binded and third queue is binded. So this is how to create the queues and streams and exchange. And let's go to Anypoint Studio, and let me explain you this demo flow. Here I have configured a flow listener, and path name I have given it as MQ, and in the listener configuration I have taken port number 8080 and localhost. My test connection is successful, and then here you can see this AMQP configuration. Localhost I have taken, port is 5672 and username is guest and port password is guest. Simply click on OK. If you want to check the test connection, you can check the test connection. My application is already in running, so that's why I'm not checking the test connection. You can see it is already deployed. Demo and RabbitMQ is deployed. And here I have added a logger just to check the payload what I am sending from Postman. And here this is the publish connector I have taken. So from the drop down I have selected this AMQP configuration, and here I have added the exchange name as first exchange, as it is already there in my RabbitMQ admin UI. And here routing keys I have selected as a edit in line, and here the value I have taken it as 1. You can simply click on this plus and you can select the value. That's it. This is simple configuration, and here I am passing the body as payload. And after that I have configured a logger just to tracking purpose, and here the message is message published. And next let me hit it from Postman. So this is the message I want to publish in my queue. Let me change this. From order 1. So you can see this logger message as message is published. And if you go to RabbitMQ page, and you can see here in this queue one message is published. One message is published in this first queue and third queue, because to this exchange we have binded this first queue and third queue. That's the reason the message is published in this first queue and third queue as well. And let me go to second flow, that is to demonstrate the consume connector. Here in the listener have given the same listener configuration, 8080 port, localhost, and path I am giving it here it as consume. And in the consume in the logger I have configured request to consume the message from flow, that is the message for tracking purpose. And in this consume connector I just have given this queue name as first name, because already I published a message in this first queue. So that message I want to consume it from first queue. So that's it. The consumer configuration is very simple. No need to give any other things for demo purpose. And here in this logger I'm printing that message as payload, the logger. So let me hit it from Postman. So here this is the path I am hitting. I'm not passing any payload here. So whatever the message I have published in the queue, that message is printed here. So in this way you can publish and consume messages in this queue. So already the message from this queue is already consumed. So here you can see the messages are 0. Next, so far we have seen to publish and consume from Postman. Let's publish a message from this RabbitMQ admin UI. So here, if you click on this first queue, here you can add publish message option. You can add your message here. So in the studio, let me go to the studio and open this RabbitMQ. This RabbitMQ, in the listener part I'm calling the message from second queue. So I have to add a message in the second queue so that this listener get triggered and it will publish a message to this publish connector. So this is my second demo. So listener, I have configured AMQP configuration as previously we have seen that, and remaining all are default values I am keeping it. And here in the response that is body, response as body, and that body we are publishing in this publish connector. Let's move here and open that second queue. Click on the second queue. If you go down, there is an option called public message from this payload section, you can send a message not only from front end, we can send from here RabbitMQ admin UI also. Here simply I am giving a JSON payload. As Ramu and order 2. So this is the payload I am sending. Just simply click on this publish message. Once you publish this message, this flow will trigger. Let's see what is printed in this logger. Message published in the queue successful. So here in this logger I have configured this message published in the queue successfully, and I am publishing that message in first exchange. I am publishing that message in first exchange. So let's go and see this exchange. So here we have published that message in first exchange. That first exchange we have bind this first queue and third queue. So that message is placed in this first queue and third queue. So previously through Postman we have send a request payload. So that is also there. And the second request we have triggered it from AMQP listener. So that's the demo. Hope you like it. Thank you.